Welcome to Survivor Scale, the show where we break down all of horror's greatest characters to find out who has the skills, experience, and mentality to be the ultimate survivor. I'm H2 Mass, and today I'm breaking down every main character in Ridley Scott's 1979 Ageless Ambition Alien, where a group of workers in the distant future must use their wits and willpower when they end up trapped on a spaceship with a murderous alien life form. The film begins by teaching us how to write the word alien, one stroke at a time. Yep, that's how you write an L. We then move to the inside of a spaceship until we encounter a group of pod people who can't stay asleep anymore after the lights turn on, so they wake up and have some breakfast. Much like a parent to a misbehaving child, an artificial intelligence referred to as Mother calls Dallas, the captain of the pod people, into a room for a private conversation. Dallas then tells the rest of the crew that Mother awakened them much earlier than they expected because the ship received a strange signal that they have to investigate. Parker, however, refuses to do so until Ash tells him that he'll lose his paycheck if he doesn't, showcasing a bit of materialism from Parker that may lead to his downfall in films like Leprechaun.
Not nice to make fun of a leprechaun.
After a bit of a crash landing on this strange new world, Dallas asks Parker and his right-hand man Brett how long it will take them to fix the ship so they can start flying again. But after they give their estimation, Ripley, the third in command, says she'll help them with the repairs. Annoyed, Parker and Brett then display some sassiness.
What the hell is she coming down here for?
You better stay the fuck out of the anyway.
I'd like to see what she's gonna do when she gets there.
Since the ship can't fly, Kane displays a potentially dangerous level of curiosity when he volunteers to explore the source of the signal, an ancient alien space vessel. There's no way that's gonna backfire, right? As Kane, Dallas, and Lambert venture into the ship, the rest of the crew stay behind, but Lambert demonstrates some self-preservation by suggesting that they leave almost as quickly as they arrived.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Unfortunately, Kane doubles down on his curiosity when he ignores Lambert's skittishness and descends even deeper into unexplored territory. His clumsiness then reveals itself when he slips off a walkway and into a collection of some weird egg-looking things. He then moves his head towards one of them and it opens up like a butthole during a cavity search. As he peeks inside, something launches forward and knocks him out. Dallas and Lambert then bring him back to the ship, but when they try to enter, Ripley displays some caution and ruthlessness by following the quarantine procedures and refusing to let them inside, recognizing that he could contaminate everyone already on board. Ash doesn't care though and disobeys her command by letting them inside anyway. Ash and Dallas then remove the helmet from Kane's head, only to discover a pulsating hand hugging his face. They should call that a face hugger. As Parker, Lambert, and Brett watch Dallas and Ash examine Kane, Ripley comes down to confront them for letting Kane inside, but Lambert displays some feistiness when she slaps Ripley for trying to leave them out there. After things de-escalate, Dallas manages to redirect the attention back to the creature on Kane's face, but when they try to cut it off, its blood spills onto the floor and starts eating through it. So Dallas demonstrates some awareness and tries to stop it before it melts all the way through the ship. Luckily though, it stops after only a few levels, and the crew contemplate what to do while the facehugger continues its public display of affection. Not long after though, they check on Kane again, but find that the creature has vanished, so they look around for it and end up finding it after it falls onto Ripley. After realizing it's dead, Ash decides to dissect it and wants to keep it for testing, but Ripley simply wants to get rid of it, displaying a strong sense of self-preservation by assuming it may still have some hostility even after death. As the captain of the ship, however, Dallas sides with Ash, and when Ripley questions this judgment, Dallas reveals his apathy when he tells her that he just does whatever the company tells him to do. When Ripley tells him that she doesn't trust Ash, he dismisses her concerns by saying that he doesn't trust anyone. Very edgy. Dallas then asks her about the damage to the ship, and Ripley once again personifies caution when she says that they still need to fix some things before taking off, but he ignores her advice and decides to launch anyway, demonstrating a clear difference in their views of caution. Luckily though, none of these repairs seem to matter, and the ship takes off without much issue. Shortly after, Kane awakens and acts like he wasn't just deep-throating a wicked witch's hand as the rest of the crew checks in on him. After a positive evaluation, they all gather around the table and feast on whatever ghoulish gruel they can conjure up in space, and Parker displays some charisma when he flirts with Lambert through sexual innuendo.
I'd rather be eating something else, but right now I'm thinking food. I know that.
My man. Unfortunately, Kane can't stomach Parker's joke and starts convulsing quite violently before a handful of blood ejects from his chest and a skin-colored lizard with a grill breaks free. Parker reacts quickly and prepares to kill it, but Ash's dubious ass begs him not to, giving it just enough time to run away and hide after leaving behind the first kill of the film. A dangerously curious second in command, with negatives too weak to place him into F tier, but positives rare enough to find him comfortably in D tier. The rest of the crew then goes searching for the missing alien, with Dallas, Ash, and Lambert splitting up into their own group while Ripley, Parker, and Brett form another. Unfortunately, they split up even further as Brett goes off on his own to find Jones, the cat aboard the ship. As Brett continues his search, he comes across some skin shed by the alien, but he confuses it with a used condom and drops it immediately. However, while he may have avoided catching an XTD, he didn't avoid the alien catching him, as it descends from the pipes. Having grown exponentially, the xenomorph grimaces with his grill and towers over Brett, who freezes in shock before being pulled 30 feet into the air ducts hanging above them, dispatching of a man with less than one positive quality, and leaving me no choice but to place him in D tier. When the rest of them regroup, Lambert hopes that Brett may have somehow survived, but Ripley dismisses her optimism and simply assumes his death, showcasing some notable pessimism. After a brief discussion, they end up developing a plan to trap the alien in the vents and guide it into the airlock so they can eject it into space. However, they need someone to go into the vents with it to do so. Demonstrating some courage, Ripley volunteers to go, but Dallas overrides her and decides to do it himself. And she's mad about that. Dallas then goes into the secret room and asks the computer the likelihood of him succeeding, and just as I'd expect from a futuristic civilization capable of interstellar travel, it doesn't have an answer for him. But he does it anyway! As the crew guides Dallas through the vents, things go smoothly. Until they don't. Lambert realizes that the xenomorph is closing in on him, so she tells him to get away as quickly as possible. When he climbs down the ladder, however, he comes face to face with the alien, and the crew lose contact with him. You see where bravery gets you? When the remaining members come back together, Ripley suggests that they try to do the same thing that just got Dallas killed, so an emotionally overwhelmed Lambert pushes back and says that they should simply abandon the ship and take the shuttle, demonstrating some strong self-preservation. Unfortunately, greed rules the world, and the company didn't make a shuttle spacious enough to hold even 4 people, so they'd have to draw straws, an idea that Lambert seems comfortable with, but Parker does not.
I'm for killing that goddamn thing right now.
I think he could take it one-on-one. After a brief argument in which Ripley manages to assert dominance over Parker, shut up! They all reluctantly go along with Ripley's plan to trap it in the airlock, after which she emphasizes that they should stick together.
But we have to stick together.
Yeah, let's see how long that holds up. As Parker leaves to refuel his flamethrower, Ripley volunteers Ash to go with him, but Parker refutes this suggestion and goes alone, demonstrating a self-destructive level of stubbornness. Ripley then employs her proactiveness when she questions the all-knowing computer to learn more about their situation, but instead of uncovering something reassuring, ends up discovering that the company already knew about this alien and considered the crew expendable in favor of capturing it. Capitalism. Like a scientific ninja, Ash then sneaks up behind her, so Ripley pins him against the wall and nearly breaks down in the aftershock of her unsettling revelation. Fortunately, she manages to compose herself and tries to contact Parker and Lambert, only for Ash to close all the doors before she can escape. Ash then stands there, menacingly. Since she keeps trying to leave, Ash tosses her around the room and shows us the future of marketing when he tries to stuff a rolled up magazine down her throat. Parker and Lambert jump in just in time and attack Ash, but Ash briefly fights them off before Parker pushes Lambert away and then smacks Ash so hard that it becomes lactose intolerant and turns into a Beyblade. Parker then displays his strength when he knocks Ash's head off. After dealing with Ash, who turned out to be an android, they finally decide to blow up the ship and take their chances in the shuttle. Unfortunately, despite once again demonstrating some leadership ability, Ripley repeats the same mistake that has gotten the rest of the crew killed when she tells Parker and Lambert to get some cooling while she goes somewhere else to prepare the shuttle, splitting up yet again. Have you learned nothing? As she initiates the shuttle, she hears the cat and displays a strong sense of veganism when she goes to look for it, even as a giant killer alien lurks throughout the ship. While she manages to find it, the alien manages to find Parker and Lambert. As the xenomorph approaches Lambert, Parker yells for her to move out of the way so he can use the flamethrower, but she freezes up and simply stands in place. Unwilling to fire at it with her in the way, Parker charges forward, but gets tossed aside before the xenomorph pins him against the wall and bites through his skull, a blow so crushing that it leaves the stubborn spaceman settling for C tier. Ripley runs towards their location as she listens to Lambert's muffled screams on the radio. When she reaches the room, however, she only finds dismembered body parts, all but confirming the demise of Lambert as well. A character with too much hesitation and poor composure, but self-preservation strong enough to place in C tier. As the ship gets close to the detonation, Ripley comes across Dallas and Brett strung up on the wall, halfway through an unsettling metamorphosis that will turn each of them into an egg. The same thing Kane peered into before a facehugger became the best representation of a deadbeat dad. Not wanting to experience this torment any longer, Dallas whimpers for Ripley to kill him, so she reluctantly obliges and shoots him with a flamethrower, leaving the courageous but apathetic captain in D tier. After completing the self-destruct and evacuation procedures, Ripley boards the shuttle and escapes the ship just before it explodes. Taking a moment to relax, she hugs the cat before putting him into a cryo chamber and preparing herself to do the same. As she fiddles with some controls though, one of the pipes reveals itself cosplaying as a xenomorph, so Ripley runs away and hides. Showcasing some composure, she responds well and quietly puts on a spacesuit, making sure not to alert the alien. She then ejects some kind of gas that forces the alien from its spot as she waits for it to come to her. When it approaches, her preparation skills showcase their value as she opens the shuttle door and sends the xenomorph flying. Though it grabs onto the doorway, she imitates the government and deports the illegal alien with a harpoon, leaving it drifting in the endless void of space. Finally victorious, she goes to sleep, floating in the dark until she reaches humanity, the last survivor of the commercial starship Nostromo, and the film's only A tier. Now it's time to give out the awards. Well, one award and one whatever the opposite of an award is. First off, the Ultimate Survivor Award goes to the character most likely to survive a random horror movie, and I'm giving this to Ripley. As one of the most iconic horror characters of all time, her composure and leadership abilities didn't disappoint. She may not have had the best performance I've ever covered, but she had a far better showcase than her competitors, and easily earned this award. Ripley is the Ultimate Survivor. The First Kill award goes to the character least likely to survive a random horror movie, and I'm giving this to Kane. Kane displays almost nothing positive, but does showcase some of the most destructive curiosity in all of horror, ultimately leading to his untimely demise. Kane is the First Kill. But that's it. The average ranking for this cast was C tier. Pretty average collection of characters. As perhaps the most iconic science fiction horror movie of all time, Alien lives up to its grand reputation, offering a creative and compelling claustrophobic nightmare that stays with you for years and leaves me feeling honored to cover it. Curiosity killed Kane, not the cat. Thanks for watching.